Are you polishing the outside or nurturing the inside? In this life, have you ever paused and asked yourself, what am I truly living for? Is it possible that we sometimes get so caught up chasing external things, a polished reputation, appearances that meet social standards, or perfectly curated images, that we forget to care for and nourish our inner world? We wake up early, stay busy with work, tend to our image and relationships. But ask yourself, how often have you sat quietly with yourself to truly see whether your heart feels full or empty? Just like a porcelain vase, glossy and flawless on the outside, yet silently cracked within, outer beauty can never fill the emptiness of the soul. If that question resonates with you, I invite you to pause for a moment, pour yourself a warm cup of tea, and in this quiet space, let me share with you a short story. The story of the Empty Incense Burner, a simple tale, yet one that gently reminds us, true peace has never come from the glittering surface, but from what quietly burns within. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a deeply devout man. Every day without fail, he would go to the temple, offering incense, bowing before the Buddha, and chanting scriptures. To the villagers, he was a role model of piety, diligence, and spiritual discipline. But strangely enough, despite his tireless devotion, his heart was never at ease. He was often troubled, anxious, and quick to anger whenever something went against his wishes. One day, after finishing his chanting, he sat silently in the temple courtyard, his mind tangled in confusion. Unable to bear the heaviness in his heart any longer, he decided to speak to the abbot and share his suffering. "Master," he said, "I light incense every day. I pray to the Buddha, I chant without missing a single session. But still, my heart is heavy. The worries won't go away. I've done everything right. Why don't I feel any peace?" The abbot listened quietly, not rushing to answer. Instead, he pointed toward the incense burner, smoke still rising from its center, and gently asked, "Do you see that incense burner over there? Do you see that incense burner over there?" The man nodded. The abbot spoke gently. "No matter how many sticks of incense you light in that burner, no matter how much fragrant smoke it gives off, the inside remains empty. Your heart is the same. If you only focus on the outer rituals, offerings, prayers, chanting, but neglect to clear away the resentment, greed, envy, and anger within, then no matter how many good deeds you do, your heart will still feel empty and restless." In that moment, the man awakened. He suddenly realized that all this time, he had been polishing the appearance of a devoted practitioner, while forgetting to cultivate the truth within himself. When you focus only on appearances, your inner world begins to empty. In today's fast-paced world, too many people are busy polishing the incense burner on the outside, while forgetting that it's hollow inside. They pour energy into building a perfect image, a successful career, glossy photos on social media, kind words, and socially approved routines. Yet, at the end of the day, when the noise fades, they lie awake with emptiness, anxiety, and a sense of unease. Have you ever heard this statistic? According to the World Health Organization, WHO, by the end of 2023, over 280 million people worldwide were diagnosed with depression. Even more striking, the highest rates of anxiety and depression are found in developed countries, where material life seems abundant. Another 2023 survey by Gallup in the US revealed that nearly 1/3 of adults felt they were living in a state of intense stress and anxiety every single day, the highest level reported in more than 2 decades. Why is that? Because when you're constantly focused on maintaining appearances, on making others believe you're fine, successful, or admirable, you often forget to pause and look inward. The more you polish the surface, the more likely your inner world becomes fragile, unbalanced, and vulnerable. So, if you feel like that beautiful incense burner, ornate on the outside, but heavy and suffocating within, perhaps it's time to stop and ask yourself, am I truly living for myself or just for others to see me? Am I building a perfect exterior while crumbling inside? Am I clinging to surface-level accomplishments to cover up inner emptiness? If we fail to recognize this soon enough, the consequences go beyond a fleeting sense of discontent. Over time, it can lead to loss of direction, emotional burnout, depression, or shallow, disconnected relationships, because we're living from the outside in instead of from the inside out. When the inside is solid, the outside will naturally shine. Have you ever noticed this? A person with inner peace doesn't need fancy words or flashy displays. Their calm presence and grounded energy naturally radiate. Like a simple incense burner filled with rare herbs. When lit, its fragrance fills the room effortlessly, without the need for decoration. When your inner world is full and your wisdom well-nourished, you stop worrying so much about what others think. You become clear about what truly matters and choose to invest your time in those things. In health, rather than just chasing the perfect body. In knowledge, rather than fleeting praise. In inner peace, not social media spotlight. And strangely enough, when you are full from within, the beautiful things outside begin to appear naturally. Relationships become more genuine. Success flows from your true values. Life feels lighter, yet more grounded. Think of people like Nelson Mandela. He spent nearly 30 years in prison, lost all fame and status. Yet he never resented anyone or cloaked himself in bitterness. He chose to cultivate compassion and wisdom. And when he walked out of prison, he didn't need to shout to be heard. It was his calm strength and quiet dignity that moved the entire world. Or Mother Teresa. She held no grand title, wore no extravagant appearance. Yet her influence and compassion touched millions across the globe because the love and sincerity within her were absolutely real. To sum it up, you may have an intricately carved incense burner, but if there's no incense inside, it's nothing more than an empty decoration. On the other hand, if you simply keep a warm inner flame alive, it will naturally radiate warmth to the space around you. So instead of endlessly polishing the outer shell, why don't we start investing time in nurturing what's within? And to help you truly experience this value, in the next part, I'll invite you to try a simple yet powerful practice. Distinguishing between form and essence in your own life. Right now, before we close this story, take a few minutes to do a simple self-reflection exercise. Step 1. Write down 3 things you regularly do that you consider right or good. For example, going to work consistently and completing your daily tasks, attending chanting sessions or personal development workshops, always presenting yourself in a neat and tidy appearance. Step 2. Ask yourself 2 questions for each item. Does this truly make me happier, more peaceful, and help me grow? Am I doing this to nurture my inner self, or just to be seen, praised, and approved by others? Step 3. Choose one thing to change how you approach it. If you realize you're doing something just for appearances, try shifting your approach. If you go to work only out of fear of being judged, take time to reconnect with the purpose and value your work brings. If you chant scriptures just to avoid guilt, try chanting with gratitude and joy, and truly feel each word. If you focus on your appearance just to avoid comparison, try caring more about your emotions and overall well-being. We don't need to abandon good forms and rituals, but we must ensure that beneath those outer layers, our hearts are truly full, not hollow like an empty incense burner. Only when you pause, reflect deeply, and adjust from the root can you break free from the cycle of surface living and begin to live with peace in your heart and lightness in your soul. You see, the story of the empty incense burner is not just some old tale from a temple. It's a powerful mirror reflecting the way we live today. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. Everyone wants to look polished, achieve impressive things, post beautiful pictures on social media, and collect compliments from others. But if your inner world is empty and restless, all of those external things are just like fragrant smoke rising from an empty incense burner. Beautiful, yes, but fleeting and ultimately meaningless. What gives the incense burner true significance is not the smoke it produces, but the scent that comes from the heart of the one offering it. And what brings real happiness in life isn't the medals, the praise, or the outer rituals. It's the steady, peaceful strength that comes from within. So, before we close today's tea session, I invite you to gently ask yourself, are you pouring your energy into decorating appearances or quietly nurturing your core? Are you focused on how others see you, or are you cultivating peace from within? Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and listen deeply to yourself. Because, as the Zen master once said, even if you light 100 sticks of incense, if the censer inside is still empty, the smoke will rise and soon disappear. And if today's story offered you a new perspective or a quiet pause to reflect, don't forget to leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe to stay connected for more meaningful stories to come. See you in the next tea session. Wishing you a peaceful, wholehearted day ahead.